Hello, friends. Did you know that nearly 80% of those who watch my videos aren't subscribed? If you enjoy the content, I'd truly appreciate it if you hit that subscribe button. It helps a lot. Also, don't forget to leave a like and share your thoughts in the comments. Your interaction not only supports the channel's growth, but also helps these stories reach more people. Thank you all for being here. By the way, where are you watching from? Let me know in the comments. I'm on 10/8. Headlights carving a narrow tunnel through the dust that swirls off the cracked pavement. It's just past midnight, and the sky above Archer County is an ocean of stars so bright they hurt to look at. The rig's engine hums low beneath me, a distant thunder I've come to rely on during hours when the land feels asleep. Except for the oil pump jacks, their skeletal arms dipping and rising like trapped souls. I shouldn't be here, but I'm the one they call, and I stay because I don't know how to leave the shadows unguarded. Dispatch broke the quiet at 0017. 1034. Caller reports a disturbance at an isolated service station west of FM 1913. Sounds of banging inside, then silence. No plate on the pump. No lights but a single dim bulb over the entrance. I click to the mic, voice low. Copy that. On my way. Fingers tense around the wheel, knuckles white. My heart keeps pace with the tires on the gravel. When I pull in, the station sign flickers once, then cuts out, swallowed by darkness. The building itself is half lit, a lone sodium lamp sputtering above a stained awning. The pumps stand like immobile sentinels. No attendant, no customers. I kill the engine and lift the mic. Dispatch, I'm at the scene. Looks deserted. I'm stepping out. I pause. 10/8. The night's humidity feels dry against my skin, like a stale breath. I step down, boots crunching stones and broken glass. I thumb on my flashlight and radio the action, checking the front entrance. Another breath. I push the door. It swings open without resistance. The bell chimes thin and metallic. Inside, the air is still, stale, with a faint tang of gasoline and old coffee. Shelves cling to the walls, stocked with dusty cans and half-empty bags of chips. The silence presses against my eardrums. I clear my throat, whispering into the empty room. Sheriff's deputy? Anyone here? No answer, just the hum of the single fluorescent tube overhead. I sweep the beam across the aisles. I call again, louder. If somebody's here, step into the light. Nothing moves. I slip my hand toward my holster but pull only my radio instead. Dispatch, the place is clear. No sign of forced entry or footprints, just this mess. I gesture at overturned shelves and a knocked-over display of energy drinks. I'll check the back office. The door to the office is ajar. I twist around the frame, gun raised. The room is cramped. A small desk, a swivel chair that's been spun on its axis, papers strewn like leaves after a storm. The computer screen is dark, keyboard half covered in dust, but on the wall a single photo clings to a tack. A faded snapshot of a family, smiling, sunlit faces. I swallow. I don't know why it catches me. I snap a quick pic with my phone. File it, I mutter to myself. Then, from somewhere deeper in the building, I hear it. Tap, tap, tap. A rhythm barely audible over my heartbeat, almost like fingernails drumming on wood. I freeze, pulse clenched around my throat. There shouldn't be anyone here. I radio. 1034 to dispatch. Did you copy? I'm getting noise in the back. Sounds like footsteps? My voice cracks. The static hisses back, but no reply. I hit PTT again. Dispatch, come in. The tapping grows closer. It moves in uneven intervals, echoing through the linoleum floor. I advance toward the door to the storage room. Every instinct screams to pull back, call for backup. But I hold the frame. The metal door stands half open. I push with my shoulder and slip through. Inside, crates of bottled water and canned goods stacked to the ceiling. The tap, tap, tap comes from behind a stack of boxes in the far corner. I navigate through the maze, light dancing over brown corrugate. Each breath feels measured, ragged. My toes catch on a stray piece of plastic. I catch my balance, flash pointed ahead. "Show yourself!" My voice booms, in silence. Then the boxes shudder. I lunge forward, swinging the beam up, and stop. Nothing there. My heart thuds so loudly I think it'll burst. I step closer, reaching around the boxes. And then I see it. A single, small footprint in the dust. Footprint of a child's sneaker. The treads form a pattern I know. Magic Soul brand, sold at Walmart stores. I stare. The dust around it hasn't been disturbed except for that one print, leading toward the door. I shove past the boxes, gun raised. Empty hallway. I follow the prints, 2, 3, 4, each spaced unevenly, as if whoever left them stumbled. The hallway light flickers above, casting long shadows. I swallow hard, taste iron. I want to call for backup. I force myself to raise the radio. Dispatch, need units at V-Mart station. Possible juvenile, footprints. The radio cuts out. Dead. I tap it, static. Nothing but the hiss of broken connection. My breath echoes off the walls. I curse under my breath and pocket the radio. I follow the footprints to the front of the building. Only there they end. The door is closed, lights off, no. Handle. No sign of forced entry, yet the prints lead right up to it. I crouch, examining the dust pattern, then a faint smear, a small handprint, sideways smudged, as if someone pressed their palm to the wall and then pulled away. I stand, tension coiling in my gut. I cast the flashlight across the parking lot. All quiet. I step outside, boots scraping the threshold. The door swings shut behind me with a whisper loud enough to make me flinch. I spin, slam a hand on it, locked. I key the mic inside the door frame. Dispatch, copy. I'm locked out of the radio sputters once, then silence. I pace the lot, counting cracks in the asphalt. 10. I stop. The station sign flickers back on, just for a second, then cuts again. My gaze drifts upward. The sky. God, it's heavy tonight. I feel eyes on me, but the lot is empty. Just me, the truck, and the quiet roar of the wind chimes hanging on the station corner. Strands of metal tinkling like distant bells. The sound crawls under my skin. Then I hear it. Laughter. High-pitched, distant, but unmistakable, a child's laugh, echoing from somewhere beyond the pumps. It trails off, fading into the red glow of my taillights. My spine stiffens. I step toward the sound, hand on my gun grip. The laugh comes again, softer, closer, right behind me. I whirl, nothing but empty darkness. My radio crackles to life inside the truck. I sprint back, yank the door open, slide into the driver's seat and slam it shut. My hand fumbles with the PTT. Dispatch, I need help now. Kid, someone's here. The speaker spits static, then a voice. 1034? This is dispatch, you okay? Relief and dread twist in my chest. I heard a kid laugh, I choke out. There's prints, handprints, and now laughter. Dispatch clears their throat. We're sending a unit. ETA 2 minutes. Do you have eyes on the subject? My jaw clenches. I flip on the dome light. Nobody. The seat's empty. I glance out the windshield. No movement. Negative, I whisper. I don't see anyone. The laughter returns. Soft, right behind my passenger window. I lift my pistol, heart pounding so loud it drowns the world. I open the door. ready to dive out. And there she is, a little girl, maybe 8 years old, wearing a pink dress that's too clean for this place, standing just beyond the headlight beam. She tilts her head, smile wide and empty. Her eyes, dark hollows where pupils should be. She says nothing, just stands. The wind picks up, scattering gravel at her feet, rattling the chimes. The girl's dress flutters, but the chimes fall silent. I step back, finger shaking on the trigger. "Ma'am, you okay?" My voice cracks. She lifts a small hand, points at the pumps, then at the station. Then she motions to the sky, just above the station where the stars swirl. A gust blows, and she's gone. No footsteps, no prints, nothing but the echo of her laughter. I fire once into the night. The bang snaps through the lot, rattles every pane of glass. I wait. Silence. My chest heaves. I flip on the siren only, as if that might drive her back. It blares into the desert. I throw the truck into gear and peel out, tires smoking against the asphalt, leaving the station and that girl behind. Now I park at the edge of town, facing back toward that station. The rig idles. I sit, fists clenched around the wheel, eyes on the horizon where the sodium lamp should still blink. But it's dark, only stars. I lift my mic. "Dispatch, I need a sit rep on that unit." The reply crackles. "They're 5 minutes out. You still clear?" I swallow. "I don't know. I think I need to stay here." I kill the engine. Silence. Then, through the static of my truck radio, I hear it again, soft tapping. Tap, tap, followed by a child's laugh that's too close, like it's inside my own cab. My hand slides from the wheel to my holster. I lean back, the laughter stops, the tapping halts, and for the first time in years, I feel something I thought I'd buried deep, pure, unfiltered terror. I slide back into the driver's seat, chest pounding like a war drum. The rig's taillights glow red against the gravel lot, my only company now. Dispatch says units are 2 minutes out, but I doubt I'll hold out that long. The night air is thick, carrying the echo of her laugh, hanging in the silence like a question I can't answer. I kill the dome light and sit in darkness, listening. Every small sound twists into something monstrous. The hum of the engine, my own ragged breathing, the distant rasp of wind through empty cans. My hand drifts to the CB mic. I open the channel, but only static greets me. I close my eyes, and the laughter returns, so soft I almost miss it. It circles me, a child's giggle just beyond the glass. My pulse quickens, sweat beads at my hairline. I tell myself it's my mind playing tricks. That after 20 years in isolation, every creak and whisper becomes a threat. But something in me knows it's real. I don't reach for my gun. Instead, I slip out of the truck, boots sinking into gravel. The lot stretches empty on 3 sides. The old brick market stands to the west. I step off the asphalt into dirt, and the laughter stops. I freeze. For a moment, there's only the wind chimes hanging from the awning, silent now. The sodium lamp overhead sputters, then bursts, plunging the station into darkness. I lift my flashlight. The beam hits the pumps, the oil-stained concrete, the cracked windows, nothing more. I call out, voice low and steady. "Kid, if you're here, I'm not going to hurt you. Come to the light." Silence. Then a scuff, like a shoe sliding across concrete, just behind the driver's door. My shoulder tightens. I pivot. The beam lands on her, the girl in the pink dress. She's crouched by the front pump, face pale in the flashlight's glare. Her eyes are huge, unblinking, reflecting the pale glow. She's not breathing. I swallow. "Hey, sweetheart, you okay?" My voice cracks. She tilts her head, as if she doesn't understand me. Then she stands so fast my heart leaps to my throat. She holds something in her hand, my cruiser badge. The metal is dented, the engraving scuffed. She squeezes it until her knuckles white. I step forward, mouth dry. Give it back. She doesn't move, just lifts her arm and lets it drop. The badge hits the pavement with a hollow ping. I bend to pick it up. The second I touch it, the world tilts. My flashlight flickers out. I stumble, hand over the badge. When I flick the light back on, she's gone. The lot is empty again. I rise, spine rigid, and scan the perimeter. The only light is the fading glow of the horizon. Dawn hours away. I try the radio again. Dispatch. But the mic is dead. I pound it against my helmet. Nothing. I check my phone. No service. The station's power must be completely out. My backup plan evaporates. I look around, trying to catch movement. In the distance, the wind chimes clang once. A single metallic note, then silence. I tuck the badge into my pocket and head back to the driver's door. My mind races. Is she some runaway kid? A reflection of my own fractured past? A ghost? I don't believe in that. Not really, but she's impossible to explain. I grip the handle. Locked. I circle to the passenger side. Locked. Both doors locked from the inside. How? Panic flares. I pound on the window. Dispatch, EMS, anyone. My voice echoes and dies. I step back, flashlight trained on the building. The front door is now shut tight. I didn't close it, I'm certain. My breath fogs in the cold air. I draw my weapon, finger off the trigger, and move toward the market. By the time I reach the awning, my legs feel like rubber. I push the door, locked. I slide my hand under the frame and tug. Nothing. I turn the handle. Nothing. I'm trapped. I back away, breath catching. And that's when I see footprints in the dust by the door, small, uneven, leading into the darkness beyond the awning. Not inside, outside, toward the truck. I turn to follow them, light scanning low. They lead me past the pumps, skirting the rig, toward the dirt road that connects to the highway. I follow, each step heavier than the last. The wind picks up, rattling the chimes again, so loud it drowns out my own breathing. The footprints vanish where the gravel meets the dirt. I stare, then another laugh. Behind me, but also ahead, impossible to pinpoint. I spin, gun up. The girl stands 10 feet behind me, eyes dark hollows. Her pink dress glows in the moonlight. She holds something new now, a small, broken toy car. She looks at me, expression vacant. I choke out, "Why are you doing this?" She crouches and places the car on the ground. The gravel around it shakes, like footsteps approaching. Then the car flings itself across the lot, skidding to a stop at my boots. The girl giggles. I backpedal until the line of the station awning hits my back. I raise my gun, finger trembling on the trigger. "Stay back!" My voice cracks like a whip. The girl tilts her head, then turns and walks toward the market door. She places a small hand on the glass, leaves a smear of something dark. I don't want to look too close. She fades into silhouette as she passes. I squeeze the trigger. The shot blasts through the night. The girl doesn't flinch. The echo pummels my chest. My ears ring. I blink. The door shatters inward, glass raining around my shoulders. I duck behind a pump as shards scatter. When I dare to look, she's alone in the doorway, lit from behind by the orange glow of the lamp I never saw switch on. She steps forward, each footfall silent on the linoleum. I raise the flashlight, and the beam catches her face up close. Her mouth stretches wide into a grin that never reaches her eyes. The door slams shut behind her. The lamp dies. She's swallowed by darkness. I pound the pump housing. Light, anything. I stumble back, boots scraping metal. I grip my radio and scream into it. This is Deputy 1034. I need immediate backup. Suspect is... The radio explodes in static, then silence. No dispatch, no units, nothing. I turn, every muscle screaming to run. But where? The lot is encircled by emptiness. I spot my rig's headlights still on, 6 feet off my right. I dash toward it, but as I step off the concrete, my boot catches something. I snap my flashlight downward. A single, small handprint in the gravel. Fresh, damp, filled with dust. My blood turns to ice. I leap aboard the truck, fumbling keys from my pocket. The engine roars to life. I swing the helm around, tires spinning as I tear down the dirt road. The station blurs behind me, the chimes rattling in my ears even as they fade into the night. I drive until the road merges with the highway. I don't slow, even through the first checkpoint at the county line. I just barrel through, lights off, radio silent. I end up at the constable's office in Archer City. Backup finally there, guns drawn. But I'm gone before they arrive, wheels screeching into a side street. Now I sit in a hollowed-out warehouse on the edge of town. The dawn is hours away. I can't sleep. Not until what? Until I'm sure she's gone. I no longer know if that market even exists or if I dreamt it. But my rig's badge, dented and scuffed, sits on the floor next to me like a confession. Dispatch is calling. I left the channel open. I raise the mic, voice low. 1034 out. Then I kill the radio. The warehouse falls silent, but I can still hear those chimes. Wind chimes in an abandoned market, ringing just for me. I'm still breathing, but I can't tell if it's relief or fear keeping my chest rising and falling. The warehouse is cold, its concrete floor seeping through my boots. Every shadow feels alive. Dawn won't break for hours, and when it does, I'll have to face what I've become. I've replayed the night 1,000 times. The first call, Van Horn Market, should have been routine, a simple disturbance. Instead, it became the longest hours I've ever lived. The little girl in pink, the badge, the laughter. I lift the radio again, thumb hovering over the PTT. Dispatch is silent. I wonder if they tried calling. If they heard my scream, if anyone thinks that station exists, or that I went there at all. My rig is parked outside, hidden behind crates and rusted machinery. I can't bring myself to touch it. Not until I know she's gone. I stand and pace. The warehouse door creaks at the far end. I spin. Nothing. My torchlight cuts across empty shelves. I stash the badge in my pocket, its weight comforting and damned all at once. I step outside into the alley. The sky is bleeding pre-dawn blue. I thought I'd feel hope. Instead, I feel hollow. I smell diesel and dust. My only footprints in the snow of gravel beside me. Mine, and those tiny handprints that appeared without warning last night. I kick at the ground. Nothing remains but rough stones. My phone buzzes. A text from dispatch. Unit 112 en route to V-Mart. Confirm? Over. My blood runs cold. They still call it V-Mart. They didn't believe me when I said I thought it didn't exist. They're sending a unit anyway. I type back, negative. No unit needed. False alarm. I don't mention the girl. I don't mention why I can't go back. I can't explain what chased me deeper into the dark than any criminal ever could. I walk the empty street toward my rig. Every porch light off, not a soul stirring. The air is thick with silence. When I reach the truck, I run my hand along the hood. The windshield bears a single smear. Tiny fingers splayed wide. I grip the door handle. It clicks open. Inside, I find the CB mic lying on the seat, the cable tangled around the headrest. I pick it up, eyes on the fading smear. I can hear her laughter again, a low echo rattling in my skull. I press the mic. Dispatch, copy? Static. I press again. Copy, please. Dispatch, do you copy? Nothing but crackle. I drop the mic and slip behind the wheel. The rig's engine fires on the first turn of the key, a mechanical heartbeat that steadies me. I flip on the lights. The warehouse door across the street glows in the beam. Open, just a crack now, like a wide, unblinking eye. I hesitate. The warehouse isn't mine. I have no authority here, but I can't leave, not yet. I pull the rig forward until the open door aligns with my headlights. Inside, shapes shift on dusty pallets. The wind rattles metal roofs in the distance. My breath fogs the inside of the glass. I kill the lights. Now, only the warehouse's single bare bulb glows. It flickers on and off. I reach for my gun and step out. My boots echo on the concrete as I approach the entrance. The bulb sputters and dies. I draw my flashlight. Its beam is weak, but enough. I step inside. Crates line the walls. Boxes marked fragile and electronics and 12 a.m. supplies stare back at me. I rack the slide on my pistol. Air tastes stale, like sweat and old paint. Somewhere in the back, a soft creak. I freeze. Hello? My voice is barely above a whisper. No answer. Just the creak again, closer. I sweep the beam through the darkness. Dust motes dance in the light. The creak echoes, a door hinge, maybe. I follow it down an aisle. The crates press in, wood smelling faintly of varnish. The floor is covered in a thin layer of dust, and I see them. 2 footprints, small, child size, just behind me. I whip around, nothing. I move forward. Footprints again, 3, then 4. They lead toward a pallet of boxes labeled cereal. I step around it. The footprints appear on the other side. Only now they're smeared, like someone dragged a bare foot. I set the flashlight on the pallet, leaving my gun trained on the dark. I step forward, crouching. The dust is disturbed in a circle, as if someone squatted there. I reach out to touch it. The instant my fingers brush the floor, a whisper, "Deputy." My heart seizes. I spin. Flashlight beam swings. There. A girl in a pink dress stands at the end of the aisle, her back to me. Her hair is matted, tangled. She turns slowly, her face so pale it glows. The hollows where her eyes should be stare straight through me. Her mouth is a slash of darkness. I slam my palm against my holster. "Who are you?" My voice cracks like bones. She takes a step forward, silent. Floorboards creak under her weight. I take 1 step back, 2. She follows, tiny feet padding. Her dress brushes the crates. I raise my gun, her lips part. A single word, breathless. "Remember." I blink. The crates around me shift. The aisles realign. I'm in the station's back room. The boxes have vanished. Instead, dusty shelves and a dingy office too small to fit half these supplies. The photo of the family is there, clipped to the corkboard. The same faded snapshot. The girl stoops and points at the photo. I follow her finger. My wife, my kids, smiling from 10 years ago. I swallow. My heart pounds loud enough to crack ribs. Then the girl's voice again. "They're lost." Her hand falls away. The world spins. The flashlight goes dark. When it flickers back on, I'm alone. No girl, no crates, just me in that office, the photo staring back. I back out into the main lot. The station is quiet, lamps off. But the wind chimes hang from the awning, clinking softly on a breeze I can't feel. I step forward. The badge in my pocket burns against my leg. I pull it out. It's cracked now, split down the middle. I stare at it. I didn't do this. I slip it back into my pocket. I walk to my rig. The warehouse, my sanctuary from the night, feels miles away. I climb into the driver's seat. My hands tremble. I dial dispatch. 1034 to dispatch. Unit check. VMART? Static. Then that voice. 10-4, VMART under surveillance. No activity. I rest my head on the steering wheel. I'm alone. I kill the lights. Dawn edges the horizon, pale and uncertain. I start the rig and pull away, leaving the station and that warehouse behind me. The road stretches empty, not a footprint in sight. Not a whisper, just the ache in my chest and the weight of every question I can't answer. I pull out onto the highway before first light. The rig's headlights punch through the gathering dawn, painting the cracked blacktop in harsh white. My knuckles burn where I gripped the wheel. 10 miles back, I left the station and that warehouse behind, but I know better than to think any distance can outrun this. The wind is still, too quiet. I ease off the accelerator, letting the rig roll like a balloon settling to earth. The radio stays dead. My phone shows no signal. Only me, the road, and the silence. I choke on a memory. My daughter's laugh, once bright, now distant. I wrestle the badge from my pocket. It's split, scarred, a silent confession of every crack in my life. I rethread my route toward Archer City, tracing the path I took last night, back through the dirt roads that carved this flatland into endless rectangles of oil leases and abandoned homes. Each mile marker passes without fanfare. At marker 27, I slow. Here, footprints appeared once. Child size, vanished into thin air. I step out and crouch by the shoulder. Gravel crunches under my fingers. No prints now, just gravel and wind-sculpted dust. I stand and face east. Dawn's redness bleeds the horizon. I exhale. This land feels hollow. I climb back into the rig and resume. Halfway through Archer County, a CB call crackles. 1034. This is Unit 112. We're clear at the station. No signs of disturbance. Are you sure you... The voice wavers. I kill the engine with a twist of the key. Silence. I lift the mic. Stand down, all clear. No explanation, no admission. Just the lie that feels as cold as metal against my palm. I drive on. The town of Archer City yawns ahead, its low storefronts and neon soda signs still dark. But at the edge, I turn onto a dirt lane leading to Lake Arrowhead Park. I need water. I need a moment. The park gate is open, unlocked. I coast in, tires sinking into sandy gravel. I kill the lights and sit. The lake stretches black and still, rimmed by cottonwoods. I slip out and walk to the shore. Boots crunch wet sand. The air tastes of algae and memory. A lone egret lifts from the water, wings whispering. I scoop a handful of lake water and drink. Cool, clean. I let the lake swallow my reflection. For a moment, I see my face, gaunt, eyes haunted. Then the surface ripples. Footsteps, again. I whip around, nothing. I spin back to the water. Ripples fade. Something slithers under the surface, barely visible. I shine my flashlight along the shore. The beam hits a single, small sneaker sole. Half buried in mud, waterlogged. The tread matches that station print. My heart slams. I step back, water licks my boots. The lake murmurs. I bend to retrieve the shoe. It comes loose in a sticky tug. I hold it up, pink, scuffed. A toy in place of flesh. Tears sting my eyes, I drop it. It plummets, a dull thud, swallowed by darkness. I back away, toward the rig, then a child's voice, soft, right behind me. Remember. I whirl. Nobody. But the air shifts, charged. I feel a presence, close, too close. I sprint to the truck. My boot catches. I stumble, skid into mud. I curse, scramble upright. I reach the door, twist the handle. It turns. I slip inside, slamming it shut. Wrenching the key, I fire the engine. Tires bite. I peel out of the park, mud splattering the tailgate. The lake recedes in my mirrors, a dark horizon. All day I drive, no brakes. Sun climbs and scalds the rig's cab. I don't stop for gas or food. I head north toward Wilbarger County, then east, cutting across Pecos until the highway becomes a ribbon of mirage heat and summer dust. My phone finally pings. 1 bar. A single message from my ex. Saw your badge on the news. They found prints at the station. Kid missing. Call me. My hands freeze on the wheel. Kid missing. A 6-year-old boy named Miguel. Left home alone. Disappeared near the station's back entrance. No body, no trace. They found splash marks on the ground, like someone waded into water. The lake. They're searching. They've got divers now. I kill the engine on the shoulder as hot air pummels the windshield. The horizon quivers. I pull my phone closer. No new texts, no calls. My daughter's face fills my mind. The badge in my pocket burns anew. I start the rig. Headlights on. I drive past mile marker 128. My rig's beam catches something on the shoulder. Scraps of pink fabric fluttering like a fallen flag. I ease forward, the clothes, a child's t-shirt soaked. I step out. Heat hits my face like a thrust. I pick up the shirt, smells of oil and lakeweed. I look down. Footprints lead toward a culvert under the highway. No lights, just black. My flashlight flickers to life. I follow. The culvert walls narrow as I enter, the beam dancing over wet stones. My breath echoes. The footprints vanish at the water's edge. I stand on slick rock. Water laps ankles. I shine the light ahead. A tunnel, half submerged, stretching into inky darkness. I raise the radio. Dispatch, Unit 1034. I'm approaching the culvert on 287. The speaker hisses. Copy? Nothing. I step forward. Water rises to mid-calf. Each step is a struggle. Current tugs. I press on until the tunnel opens into a cavern. Vaulted ceiling, dripping. I sweep the light. I see symbols, scratched into the rock. Child-size handprints, arranged in a spiral, pointing deeper. My stomach twists. A splash echoes. I snap the light toward the sound. Miguel stands 20 feet away, shirtless, soaked, eyes wide. He's licking water from the cave floor, like an animal. I sprint forward while he doesn't move. I yank him into my arms. He's cold, limp. Behind us, the light shifts. Footsteps in water. Too many for one child. Shapes coalesce in the beam. Children's figures, pale, featureless. Their mouths hang open in silent screams. They drift through the cavern like ghosts. I stumble backward, pulling Miguel. The figures follow. The symbols glow faintly on the walls. I race back toward the entrance, water up to my waist. The children's silhouettes close in, circling. Without looking, I wade faster, clutching Miguel's arm. Sunlight pierces the tunnel mouth. I burst out coughing. The shapes vanish. I collapse on the roadside, Miguel in my lap, shivering. My rig's headlights beam on us. I dial 911. Voices crackle, sirens in the distance. I hold Miguel, check his breathing, blanket him with my jacket. He trembles, muttering, "They said, remember?" I look back toward the tunnel. It's dark now, silent. No symbols, no footprints, just stone. An hour later, they call me in. Ambulance team, detectives. Miguel sits wrapped in an emergency blanket, staring at the sky. He won't speak except to whisper, "Remember." They photograph the scene, bag evidence, the t-shirt, muddy footprints. They ask me questions, I answer. I see their doubt. I can't tell them what I saw in that cavern. I can't speak of the figures, the symbols. That night, back at the station, I clean my rig. I wipe down the cab, remove mud, wash fingerprints from the door. I find the split badge on the floorboard, pick it up, and drop it into a drawer. I head home to my empty house. It's late, lights off. I open the front door, drop my keys. The hallway is dark, silent. I flick on the lamp in the living room. Family photos line the mantel, my wife, my kids, smiling from another life. I reach out, touch the frame. I hear a scuff behind me. I turn, nothing. I step back. The lamp flickers. In its glow, I notice something on the floor. A single, small handprint in dust, leading toward the dark hallway. My breath catches. I crouch, inspect it. The print is gone by the time I reach the spot, just floorboards. I stand, heart racing. I head upstairs. The bedroom door creaks as I push it. Moonlight spills in. The bed is empty. On the pillow lies the buried badge, split in half. I pick it up, cold. Then I hear her, soft and clear, right at my shoulder. Remember. I drop the badge and stumble out. The hallway is empty. I catch my reflection in the mirror at the end. Hollow eyes, drawn face, pulled tight by fear and memory. And I realize this is not over. It never will be. Because she needs me to remember. And I don't know if I can ever forget. I wake before sunrise, haunted by the tunnel, by Miguel's eyes, by her whisper. The warehouse's echo still rings in my mind. I lie on the floor beside my bed, uniform crumpled in a heap. When the pale light seeps under the bedroom door, I force myself up, breathe slow, and dress in silence. The morning smells faintly of laundry detergent and stale coffee. I don't want coffee. I want quiet that doesn't chatter with memory. In the kitchen, I fill a thermos with hot water and drop in a tea bag, mint, because mint reminds me of the garden my kids used to help me plant. They're almost grown now. I used to imagine them running those rows, laughing between the stalks. Now, the house is empty, the garden overgrown. I hose it down later, water washing away dust and flags from the night. My phone buzzes. It's the deputy who found the culvert. He texts a photo, his boots next to soft footprints in the mud inside that cavern. Under the photo, 2 words, "They're back." I type back, "What do you mean?" No reply. I wait. Minutes tick by before his late reply. Shadows in the water. Figures moving. Scratch marks on the wall. You weren't lying. I set the thermos on the counter, palm heavy around it. Tea steams, curling upward like smoke. I don't sip. I stare at the counter, willing the steam to carry away the past day's images. Ghost children drifting, their hollow eyes reflecting my own. It doesn't work. By mid-morning, I'm at the precinct, badge reshaped in my pocket. Detectives cluster around the culvert site photos, flipping over pages of diagrams, scribbled notes. I hover at the edge of their circle. One detective, Sloan, looks up. She's sharp, no nonsense, but I see worry in her eyes. "Deputy," she says, "you need to talk to the chief." Her tone isn't an order, but an invitation. I nod, head tight with thoughts. Chief Becker's office is antiseptic. Beige walls, framed commendations, a small clock ticking loudly. He doesn't smile. "I heard about the culvert," he says. His fingers tap the desk. "We found a body this morning. Hispanic boy. Clothing matches missing 6-year-old. You there?" His voice doesn't crack, but I feel the words like a hammer blow. I swallow. "Yes, sir." My fingers twist in my pockets. I didn't see a body. I found the entrance. He waits. I exhale. I found the boy, but not like... My voice catches. He was alive, but not normal. The cavern. Shapes. I shake off the memory. I pulled him out. He vomited water. He's in the hospital. Becker's jaw tightens. Hospital records say the boy was found dead, drowned. He slides a photo across the desk. Miguel's face, pale and lifeless, eyes closed, lips purple. My stomach clenches. He's dead. They pronounced it at 7:45 a.m. I blink. Number I. He was breathing. I sit hard in the chair. We need to... My hand trembles. They saw figures. In the water. Chief Becker stares. One boy, one body. Diving team reports. No signs of foul play. No other footprints. You were the only officer on scene overnight. Did you drink? His tone is calm, but I taste the accusation. No, sir. I clench the edge of the desk, knuckles white. I couldn't. I stayed awake. I swallow. Can't tell him about ghost children. He leans back. Get your report in. You're off duty. Go home. The words aren't a dismissal. They're a relief. I nod. Leave. I step out, head pounding. And in the corridor I nearly collide with Deputy Sloan. You okay? She whispers. I nod. See you tomorrow. I drive home through midday sun, everything bright and blinding. My rig's AC blasts cold air that does nothing to cool the heat rising inside me. I park in the driveway and stare at the faded doormats. I want to go inside, but something halts me. An instinct sharper than fear. I sit for a long time, engine running, eyes on the windows. When I kill the truck, I feel the quiet settle like dust. I step out, boots echoing on concrete, and cross to the front porch. Through the glass, I see the living room chairs, the pale rug, the coffee table strewn with last week's mail. I open the door with a twist, enter, and the snapping lock behind me makes me flinch. I stand there, helmet in one hand, badge in the other, feeling the weight of both. I lean the helmet on the arm of a chair, drop the badge onto the coffee table. It clinks, breaks into two pieces along the crack. I stare until it stares back. An unspoken question. Who am I if I can't protect a child? Night comes again. I make a sandwich in silence, turkey cheese bland. I eat, standing by the sink, eyes on the empty street. Lights flicker across the houses as neighbors settle in. None of them ring my doorbell. None of them know the night I survived, the night I failed. I end up in bed before midnight, but sleep evades me. Instead, I lie with my back to the sheets, eyes tracing the ceiling's cracks. I think of Lake Arrowhead, of the warehouse, of that station. I replay voices, remember, over and over. At 2:13 a.m., my phone buzzes. I grab it. A message from an unknown number. They remember you. No signature. My breath hitches. I flip it open, a photo attached, a single word carved in flesh on wood. Remember. The lettering is small, precise, freshly raw. I drop the phone. It shatters on the floor. I hear it crack in two places, like my badge. I stare at the shattered screen. The room is silent except for the hum of the refrigerator somewhere in the house. I stand, pad to the door. I need to move, to chase this, to end it, or to save myself from it. I grab my uniform jacket from the closet. Inside pocket, a folded note I tucked there after the first call. They never listen, I wrote in my own hand. I unfold it. Nothing but the words. No address, no clue. I step outside into darkness. The street is empty, but the wind carries a whisper. Leaves rustle in the oaks. I step off the porch, the grass wet against my boots. I follow the whisper down the street, no direction, just a promise that the night still has me. I pause at the corner. The world yawns wide, empty, waiting. The whisper rises, remember. And I know there's only one way to end this. To find her, to face her, whatever she is, head on. To answer her command, or to be swallowed by forgetting. I turn my collar up against the night and walk toward the unknown. The stars overhead blur into a smear of light as I move, each step a promise and a threat. I'm on 10-8 again, but I don't know if I'm going in to save someone, or myself. I check my watch. It's 0013. I'm alone in my patrol car on that stretch of farm-to-market road 179 east of Archer City. The engine hums quietly. I'm on 10 to 8 again, back in service. Nothing happens out here most nights, but tonight, I can feel it, won't be like the rest. I crack the window. The air tastes dry. Dust drifts across the black asphalt. My headlights slice through the darkness. The road stretches straight for miles. In the rear view, only emptiness stares back. I take a slow breath, steady myself. I pull the brim of my hat lower. The radio is silent, except for distant static. I thought I'd heard something. A pop, maybe, a scrap of noise that didn't belong. Out here, the wind rattles empty signs, whistles through telephone wires. But I swear I heard footsteps. Bare, slow footsteps. On gravel. I kill the engine. Silence overtakes the hum. I listen. Nothing. Then, scratch. A metal gate 100 yards ahead creaks. I switch on the dome light. It's a cold yellow. Shadows pooled in the cab. My hand drifts to my revolver. I breathe in. No rush, no panic. I've been doing this for 15 years. I step out. The gravel bleeds under my boots. Each crunch echoes in the night. I glance at the pump station 200 feet ahead. Its single bulb flickers. The sign reads, Alvarado's Fuel Stop. Below, someone once painted, since 42. Now it's chipped, fading. Inside, dead, empty shell. I feel for my flashlight. The beam cuts a perfect circle across cracked concrete. My radio sputters. 10-4, Deputy 37, stay sharp. Sheriff's voice, too calm, unnerving. Copy that. I tuck the mic away. I move forward. The wind picks up. A distant dog barks twice, then silence. I head for the fence line. I follow it until I find the broken section. Wires torn, twisted, fresh. My heart skips. Who cuts through a fence out here? I kneel, touch the metal. It's warm. Friction heat or something else. I rise, scanning the black fields. No car lights, no tail lights, nothing but the stars above. The Milky Way glows faintly. On a clear night like this, you feel small. I've walked under this same sky before. Never felt this exposed. A noise cracks behind me. Sharp. I spin. My flashlight lands on tall grass swaying. A silhouette flickers. Not quite human. But then it's gone. I take 2 steps back. My boots sink into loose gravel. I reset my grip on the weapon. Hello? I call out. My voice sounds distant, hollow. The wind answers. I head to the fuel pumps. The glass panels are grimy. Smudged handprints? Or mud and rust? I tap. It thuds, empty. No sign of a body or footprints around. Only mine. My radio bleeps. 1033, break, dispatch to all units. We've got a code 6 at the old McDowell place, south of Van Horn. Need backup? That's 16 miles from here. I glance at my car. I should get moving. But something in my gut pins me in place. This broken fence. This silence. I crouch again. Near the pump, I notice a smear. Dark red. It glistens in the flashlight beam. Fresh blood. I follow it down the cracked concrete. It leads toward the back of the building. A storage shed door. Splinters at the bottom. I radio in. Dispatch, this is Deputy 37. I've got blood on site. Possible injured. Can't leave. Need backup here. Static. Then, copy, 37. We'll dispatch medics and another unit. I count my heartbeats. 1, 2, 3. I press the barrel of my light against the shed door. It smells of oil and damp wood. I expect rats to scatter. Instead, I hear breathing. Software ragged. I grip the doorknob. It trembles under my hand. I pull. It gives. I step inside. The beam picks up boxes of old oil filters. shelves of spare parts. Then I see her. She's slumped on the floor. A teenage girl, 15 maybe, jeans torn at the knees, a faded Lone Star t-shirt, pale face, sweat beading on her forehead. Her eyes flutter. She's breathing, barely. Her right arm lies at an odd angle. Blood pools under her elbow. I kneel, the smell, copper and iron. I check her pulse, weak, thread-like. I clear her airway, she mumbles. I catch a glimpse of fear in her eyes. "Deputy," she gasps, "help me." My radio crackles. 37, are you still able to copy? "Yeah," I whisper. "I've got a victim, requesting medics." I tear off the radio strap. I wedge it under her neck. I reach for my cuffs. No. I need tourniquet, pressure bandage. I peel off my jacket sleeve. I tear it into strips. I press. She grips my wrist, hard. "Thank you," she whispers, then passes out. I straighten. Blood seeps through the cloth. I radio again. "Dispatch, medics, ETA." A pause. 10 minutes, 37. 10 minutes is an abyss. I scan the shed. No suspect in sight. But I hear the faint hum of a generator. Where? I follow it. Around the corner. A small trailer parked in the shadows. Its door sways open. Blue light seeps out. I flick on my flashlight. Inside, a radio scanner, CB rig, empty chairs, a makeshift cot. Maps pinned on the wall. Barnhart, Jayton, Dickens. The girl's name scribbled Lila in red, underlined. My pulse rises. I step back. Behind me, the door creaks. I whirl. Empty. I force myself to breathe. I return to Lila. She stirs. I keep pressure on her wound. She moans. Then, far off, a vehicle engine. Tires on gravel. A light beam sweeps the darkness. Blue and red. Salvation. I scoop Lila into my arms. She's light. I head for my car. The siren wails closer. I reach the patrol car. I slip into the driver's seat. I lay her across the back. I climb in front. I shout, "Hang on, Lila." I slam the door. My breath comes in icy gusts. I shift to drive. Tires spin on loose gravel. We launch forward. I pick up speed. In the dash lights, her face flickers. Eyes closed, lips blue. Behind me, the patrol car falls in line. Its siren blares. I steer toward the main road. My radio comes alive. "Unit 37, dispatch, state your location." "FM 179, 2 miles east of Archer City. Going code 3 to Will Barger County Hospital." A moment of static. "Copy that. ETA 9 minutes. 9 minutes feels endless." I check the rear view. Lila's chest rises and falls. I think of my kids. They're asleep at home in Lamb County. No idea where I am tonight. I swallow hard, focus on the road. Telsa's crackles again. 37. Be advised, suspect is fleeing east on FM 179, possibly heading toward Oklahoma line. My head snaps up. Say again. Suspect is fleeing in a white truck. Plate unreadable. I glance ahead. Nothing but road and dark fields. I push the accelerator. The car lurches. I flick on my lights and siren. I race ahead. The dust cloud rises. A shape looms. A white Ford F-150 parked sideways on the shoulder. Tailgate down, bed empty, no truck to chase. I kill the siren. I slow. I park behind the pickup. My heart hammers. I exit. Boots hit asphalt. I head to the bed. It's scraped clean. No evidence. But a smear of red on the rail. I kneel. I touch it. It's Lila's blood. She was dragged here. Why? I spin. A faint humming returns. Radio static. The CB rig is wedged in the grass. I pick it up. I see a channel set. 16. I key the mic. "This is Deputy 37. Lila's been moved to this location. I need suspect in custody." Silence, then a click. A voice whispers, "Anyone copy this?" My blood runs cold. It's Lila's voice, fainter, choked. And behind her, another voice. Low. laughing. I drop the radio. It clatters on the pavement. I raise my flashlight. Fields stretch empty. The wind moans through damaged fence posts. I pull my shirt over my face to block the cold. I think of no backup arriving for another 5 minutes. Lila, unconscious, bleeding somewhere out there. Hands shaking, I reach for my revolver. I'm on code 4, clear. But inside, I know the code's broken. I slide back into the driver's seat and set the patrol light back to 10-8. Lila lies unconscious across the rear bench. Her ragged breathing slows, but I can still hear it. The dashboard clock reads 00:47. 10 minutes have crawled by like hours. I kill the engine again. Silence presses in through every crack in the windows. My hand hovers over the radio. Nothing but static. I think of the laughter on the CB, the girl's voice strangled. It wasn't just fear, it was something else. Triumph. Cruelty. I flick my flashlight on and shine it through the rear window. The field beyond is empty, black as spilled ink. I force my legs out of the car and shut the door. The slam echoes. I draw my revolver. Belt buckle glints in the beam. I start toward the broken fence where I dropped Lila's blood smear. Gravel crunches under my boots. I reach the fence and squat. The rails are jagged, splintered. I peer through the gap. The beam of my flashlight cuts a path into the tall grass. I hear it again. A faint cough, maybe from Lila. I move around the corner of the pump station. There it is. A thin ribbon of blood leading away from the station into the field. It glistens under the moonlight. I follow it, one careful step at a time, eyes darting left and right. The blood trail grows fainter. It disappears where the grass grows thicker. I kneel and trace a finger through the droplets. They're sticky, warm. My glove comes away red. I wipe it on my pant leg. My heart hammers. I stand, then sprint through the grass, flashbeam ahead. Branches scratch my face. My hat falls off. I snatch it back on. I stumble, but keep going. The field stretches flat. The only sound is my own breathing and the distant hum of the generator in that trailer. I reach the trailer again. The door stands half open. The blue light pulses inside like a dying eye. I step to the threshold. Inside, the metal floor is stained. Footprints lead toward the cot. Lila should be here, but she isn't. A groan behind me. I whirl. The patrol car's red dome light flickers on. Shadows move. I lift my weapon. Lila lies in the grass, a few feet from the trailer, covered in dew. Her eyes roll back. She coughs out a breath. I run to her and kneel. She tries to speak, but only whispers. "They took her," she says, voice hoarse. "They took her." My blood runs cold. Who? Who took her? She grips my arm. My sister did in the station. Then her eyes close again. Sister. Station. I remember the smudged writing on the wall. Lila. Nothing about a sister. Maybe it was another victim, another girl. The wind picks up. The trailer's door slams shut. I shine my light on it. No one there. I drag Lila to the car and lift her in. She moans. I close the door. I pat my pockets. Phone, handcuffs, radio, all heavy, all useless. I jump into the driver's seat and fire the engine. Lights and siren off. I don't want to announce the wrong location. I pry Lila's jacket collar open and read the tag. Lila Montgomery, Archer City High. 18 years old? She looked younger. I dial dispatch again. No answer. Static. I punch the dashboard. Damn it! I lean forward, resting my head on the wheel. My vision swims. The night feels endless. Then I see headlights up ahead. Yellow, civilian, a sedan. It slows as it passes, then stops. A slap on the dome light. The sedan's driver's window lowers. A man's face appears. Young, sweat on his brow. "You okay, deputy?" I rub my eyes. "You saw anything out here?" I shout over the idling engine. He shakes his head. "Just the road. Thought you were out of gas." He holds up a gas can. I close my eyes. "Number." "Thank you." I start to drive past him, but stop. I glance at the gas can, rusted, dented. "Where'd you get that?" I ask. He shrugs. "Found it by the fence. Looks fresh. I thought maybe, someone stranded." I think of the blood, the trailer, Lila in the back. "Did anyone else pass by?" I ask. He frowns. "No one. I was first." Then he leans in. "You sure you're okay?" I force a nod. "I'll be fine." I hand him back the can. "Keep an eye out, will you?" He nods, unsettled, and drives off, headlights fading. I return to Archer City, streets empty, storefront lights off. I park in front of the station. Lila is asleep in the back. I open the door, scoop her up, and carry her inside. Inside the station, it's colder. The fluorescent lights buzz. I set Lila on a bench. She stirs, eyeing the walls. "Where's my sister?" she asks again, voice hollow. I grip the back of the bench. "I'm going to find her." My voice sounds distant, like someone else. I walk to the front desk. The dispatcher's in her booth, sipping coffee. She looks up. "Back so soon?" she asks. I clear my throat. "We need to check the records. Montgomery sisters, both." She taps keys. "Here, Lila, 19, and Emily, 17. Emily listed missing 3 nights ago. Henderson County. Case never assigned." My blood runs cold. We'd had no report, no call on my radio. "Show me everything we have on Emily." She prints files. I watch the pages come out. A grainy photo of a girl with dark hair and hollow eyes. A police report stating, "Last seen at the fairgrounds." The date, June 14th, last year. Almost a year ago. I pinch the bridge of my nose. How did this slip through? She's a juvenile missing. The dispatcher shrugs. Lots of paperwork. I guess nobody connected the dots. I flip the report open and read, "No signs of foul play, presumed runaway." Runaway. A teenager with nowhere to go. My gut twists. I gather the files and head to the evidence room. I pull out Emily's file. Crime scene photos. An empty trailer, blood spatters, skid marks. I stare at the images. They're eerily familiar. The same trailer design from FM 179. The same blood pattern on the floor. I force a breath. She was here. I whisper it aloud. They brought her here. I slam the files shut. Keys rattle in my pocket. The radio on the desk crackles. A call. 10-9 all units. Code 6 at the old railroad crossing. Shots fired. Officer down. I freeze. The call is half a county away. I glance at Lila. Her eyes are open, terrified. "Stay here," I tell her. "Stay hidden." She grabs my arm. "Please," she whispers, "don't leave me." I kneel. "I won't, I promise." Then I stand, grab my jacket, and head for the door. The night swallows me again. Outside, I jump into my car, siren on. I race toward the crossing. The road ahead is broken asphalt, cracked by time. Wind chimes from the station's sway. I pass the gas station, the fence, the trailer site. Each landmark stabs at my mind. I reach the crossing. Flashing lights, ambulance, fire truck, 2 patrol cars. Officers cluster around something. I park and run. I see her, Emily Montgomery, lying on the tracks. Hers is the body calling Lila's name in that CB crackle. She's turned to the side, her eyes wide open, staring at the sky. Skin pale, lips blue. I kneel beside her. She's alive, but barely. A single gunshot wound to the abdomen. Blood spreads on the ballast. "Emily," I whisper. She blinks. I slide my hand under her shoulder. "I'm here. I'm here." She tries to speak, but only breathes shallow. Her hand drifts to her chest. In the folds of her shirt, I see a blood-stained piece of paper. I unfold it, scrawled in shaky handwriting. "They never let me leave." Emily's eyes flicker. She stares at me. Then her head falls back. Paramedics swarm. I stand, my ears ringing. The night around me is louder. Sirens, firefighters shouting, engines. I hold that note in my hand, the words burning through my skin. I slide my back down the pole of the crossing signal. I clutch the note. The wind tugs at it. It flutters and settles at my feet. Tonight, 2 sisters nearly lost. 2 sisters found, broken, and a promise left hanging. Who is they, and why can't they leave? I head back to my car, hands trembling. The night sky above is clear, full of stars, but I can't see them. I'm trapped under the weight of every unsaid word in that note. Every echo of laughter that wasn't human. Every whisper in the static. I slide out of the ambulance bay and into the night air. The door thuds shut behind me and I'm alone again. In my pocket, Emily's note burns against my thigh. My mind races, the edges of reason praying. The station's lights recede behind me as I drive back, toward FM 179. My headlights carve a path through the plain. The hum of the engine is too loud in my skull. My glove-clad hand grips the wheel, knuckles white. I replay the day's events. Lila in the trailer, Emily on the tracks, and that single piece of paper. They never let me leave. I pass the old fuel stop. The broken fence lies quiet now. No sign of the girls or of whoever did this. The wind presses against the patrol car, rattles the mirror. I turn on the dome light. The note flutters in the console. I fish it out. The ink is smeared, red like blood. I hold it up to the light, a child's scrawl, uneven. I read it again and again. They never let me leave. I'm driving too fast. The tires howl when I brake. I haven't even noticed I was at the intersection. My pulse hammers, chest tight. I catch my reflection in the rear view, eyes sunken, face gaunt. I look like a ghost. I turn off the siren and head north on FM 179. Archer City fades in my taillights. Beyond, the road stretches toward Wichita Falls. I don't know where I'm going, but I can't stop. I remember the generator hum at the trailer, the laughter over the CB. They're here. The station file was right. Emily's disappearance was no runaway. It was worse. Something that bled deeper than any wound. I drive until the road curves past a cotton field. The stalks rustle in the breeze. I park on the shoulder and step out. The night air is colder than before, sharp in my lungs. I keep Emily's note in one hand, my flashlight in the other. I walk among the rows of white bowls, every stalk like a pale finger pointing skyward. Here, it feels empty. But I know it isn't. I hear it, a soft humming. Not the wind, something electrical. I follow the sound deeper into the field. The cotton brushes my legs, talc soft and uncanny. My boots sink into the soft earth. The humming grows louder, metallic, rhythmic. I push through the last row and stop dead. A generator stands in a clearing, wires snaking into the dirt. Next to it, a CB rig lies on a plywood board, channel dialed to 16. The mic hangs loose. The grass around it is stained dark. I flash the light around. No trailer, no pump station, nothing. Just the machine, humming like a heartbeat. I kneel and pick up the mic. "This is Deputy 37. Identify yourself." The static snarls back. Then a voice so faint I almost don't catch it. "You shouldn't have come." My blood thunders. I jump to my feet. The generator sputters. The light dims, flickers. In that moment of darkness, I feel breath on my neck. I whirl. Nothing. Just cotton stalks trembling. Then the generator roars back to life. The light returns. The CB speaker hisses, "Find her." No name, no plea, just a command. I shove the mic back and stand in the clearing, alone among the cotton. The field shifts in the wind, a pale sea. I want to run. I want to turn the engine over and speed back to Archer City. But I know I can't leave her. I race back to the car. The engine turns over on the first try. I speed north, the note burning in my pocket. My headlights catch something by the roadside, a small doll, a porcelain face cracked. I swerve to a stop, heart clattering. I pick it up. The paint on its cheeks is smeared red. One glass eye missing. In its hand, a scrap of paper. Help me. No signature, no context, just the same thin command. I stuff the doll and note into the glove box. I slam it shut and drive on. Town lights flicker ahead. Wichita Falls sprawls like a dying star. I pull into a 24-hour diner parking lot. Steam drips out of the kitchen vent. I hesitate, then step inside. The diner is empty save for the cook wiping counters. He looks up when I enter. "Coffee," I say. He pours. I sit at the counter, flat seat squeaking. I cradle the mug. The ceramic is warm. I watch ripples in the surface like shifting memories. "You look beat," he says. I force a nod. "Long night." He eyes the patrol uniform. Lot of that going round. I stare at the table. I want to trust him. I want to tell someone. But Emily's note says they never let me leave. I drink the coffee. It's bitter. I slide out a $20 bill and leave it on the counter. Outside, the night yawns. I'm back on the road by 3:15 a.m. I head east toward Vernon County. I have no plan, just a name, they. Emily's words echo in my mind. They never let me leave. Who are they, and how many are there? 2 girls hurt, 2 lives shattered, and now me, drawn into something older, deeper than any crime I've known. My headlights catch the outline of a lone barn. Its silhouette is half gone, roof caved in. I park again. I walk toward it, radio silent, heart pounding. The barn door creaks. Inside, the floor is littered with debris. I flash the light upward, aloft, empty. But I see footprints in the dust, bare footprints, small. I follow them to a wooden stall. A rope hangs from a hook, noose tied at the end. I feel bile rise. I turn away. The CB frequency crackles in my mind, the laughter, the whispers. I step back out into the open. The night wind cuts through my jacket. I pull the brim of my hat down. I think of the sheriff's badge on my belt. I think of my children asleep back home. I clamp my jaw. The radio crackles. "Deputy 37, are you there?" It's dispatch. My voice is low when I answer. I'm in Vernon County. I need to report a barn, footprints, possible staging area." Silence, then, "Copy that." Units en route. I hang up and stand under the cotton-white sky. Dawn is hours away, but the horizon lightens ever so slightly. I stare east, heart heavy. I whisper to the wind, "I'll find you." My boots crunch as I walk back to the car. Emily's note in one hand, flashlight in the other. I slip into the driver's seat and hold both notes on the dashboard. The doll lies on the passenger seat, glass eyes staring. I slide the patrol light to code 2 and pull away. The radio crackles again. "Deputy 37, be advised all local units are on high alert. Missing person reports across 3 counties, multiple possible matches. Stay safe." I close my eyes. 3 counties, more girls, more faces, more scraps of paper, more cries for help in the night. I pull onto the highway and accelerate eastward. The cracked asphalt unfurls beneath me. The wind whips through the open window, carrying distant sounds. A dog baying, a gate creaking, someone whispering. I drive until the pavement ends and the prairie swallows the headlights. The patrol car's engine hum becomes a distant heartbeat as I kill the ignition. Somewhere ahead, the earth rolls in gentle hills under the indifferent stars. I step onto the gravel, leaving Emily's note and the cracked doll on the seat where I can't see them. I don't want them here any longer. The wind carries the faint scent of creosote from the fence posts along the old county line. I follow it, boots sinking into loose soil. My flashlight beam cuts a narrow path through the grass, illuminating clumps of thistle and the occasional rusted can. Every step I take feels measured against the weight in my chest, the weight of two girls, torn from their lives, two voices screaming through static. I come to a rusted gate with no lock. The sign above reads Wilbarger County Line. Beyond it lies nothing but open land and my own dread. I press forward. The land undulates, and I descend into a shallow arroyo lined with mesquite. The moonlight filters through twisted branches, making the shadows dance. I feel eyes on me, thin, unseen watchers perched higher in the brush. I reach the bottom and find footprints stamped in the soft earth. A small girl's footprints, bare, toes splayed, and next to them, footprints of a man wearing heavy boots. I follow the tracks upstream. They lead to an old stock tank, its water level low, brackish. The ground around it is churned, something heavy dragged through the muck. I switch off my flashlight, total dark. I cup my hand over my mouth and whisper, "Emily? Lila?" My voice is swallowed, then a soft splash. Footsteps in water. I switch the light back on. At the far edge of the tank, a blanket lies half submerged, weighted down. I approach, every nerve alight. I brace myself and pull the blanket ashore. Underneath is a satchel, canvas, soaked. Inside, a small handheld tape recorder. The red record light blinks, though there's no tape spooled. I press play. Static, then a child's laughter, high-pitched, manic. Then the voices come, two of them overlapping. You wanted to leave, you wanted to be free. But they never let me leave. The recorder clicks off. The battery dies. My heart pounds. I kneel and fish out my phone, no signal. I dial dispatch anyway. Silence. I tuck the recorder into my jacket. I stand and shine my light into the arroyo walls. Carved names. Emily, Lila, and dozens more I don't recognize. Some dates next to them stretching back years. The names climb in jagged letters where small hands once carved in panic. I swallow. Each name a soul lost to something I still can't name. I trace my finger over the latest inscription. May 12th, 2024. 1 year ago, the day after Emily disappeared. A cold knot tightens in me. This has been going on for years. I step back and realize I'm surrounded by the voices of the missing, etched in wood and stone and soil. I shine the light upward. Mesquite branches frame the sky. The stars spin, distant and indifferent. I breathe out. The night air tastes of dust and regret. I know where I need to go next. The trailer site, the barn, every broken place that marked these disappearances. I will find her sister's sister if she's still alive. I will find every girl who begged for rescue. I turn away from the arroyo and walk back through the mesquite, each footstep a promise. I will not leave. At the gate, I pause. The wind picks up. A faint melody drifts, wind chimes from the sheriff's station, carried miles off course. It tinkles once, then stops, as if cut by a blade. I lift my head to the sky. The moon hangs low and watchful. I edge through the gate and reopen my patrol car's door. The recorder lies on the passenger seat next to the cracked doll. I stare at them, then close my eyes and settle into the driver's seat. I I start the engine, headlights off. I drive south toward Archer City. My radio crackles once. My call sign, Deputy 37, are you headed home? I don't answer. I drive past the station, past the diner, past the empty fields, until the horizon burns with pre-dawn light. I drive until the sky shifts from ink black to slate. The first pale glow of dawn creeps over the horizon. I keep the headlights off. I know every mile of this highway by heart, but it looks different in the gray light. Softer, deceiver. The radio crackles. I don't answer. I'm still 10 to 8, still on duty, still hunting ghosts. I pull into the gravel lot of Alvarado's fuel stop. The pump station sits abandoned. The broken fence leans inward like a tired sentinel. I kill the engine and sit. I taste cold coffee in my mouth. My hands tremble. I unzip my jacket and pull out the tape recorder. The device is still cold to the touch. I press play, static, then that laughter, high and broken. Then, they never let me leave. The words echo in the empty cab. I shut it off. I slip the recorder into my glove box. I check the seat beside me. A folded scrap of paper lies there. Emily's note. I touch it, still warm. I open the note. They never let me leave, no date, no signature. Yet I know whose hand wrote it. I fold it neatly and slip it into my breast pocket. I lean back. The seat creaks. I recall every face. Lila in the shed. Emily on the tracks. The names etched in the arroyo. The footprints in the barn. Each a breadcrumb in a trail that leads nowhere. Each a scream captured in static. I step out into the chill morning. The sky above is bruised purple. I jog to the fence and vault it. My boots hit gravel. I follow the edge of the lot toward the back road. The earth smells of dust and old oil. My throat clenches. I stop at the storage shed, boards splintered. I shine my light inside, empty. A few oil cans, no sign of Lila, no sign of the killer. Just the echo of my own breathing. I cross the road to the old trailer site. The grass is overgrown. Rusted metal bars poke from the dirt. I step carefully, scanning the ground. Then I see it, a bootlace, frayed, black. I pick it up. No boot attached. I bag it in an evidence envelope. Something catches my eye, a glint. I squat, a half-buried ring, a simple gold band. No inscription. I slip it into my pocket. I rise, chest tight. I climb into my patrol car. I drive east toward Archer City through the waking fields. The town sleeps. The diner where I last ate stands dark. Neon letters flicker. Closed. I pass the sheriff's station. Lights on upstairs. I glimpse movement through the blinds. The dispatcher. She's on the phone. I pull into my driveway in Lamb County. My house sits empty. Inside, 2 bedrooms. One for my daughter, one for my son. Both beds made, both untouched. I stare at the front door. I grip the wheel. I breathe in. I need to rest. I need to think. I step out and lock the car. The morning wind rushes past. I hesitate. I almost leave. Almost go inside. Almost sleep. But I remember the girls. They never got to go home. They never got to see sunrise. They never got safe. I climb back into the car. I close the door. I drive away. I head north. The highway curves around a reservoir. Dawn light glitters on the water. I slow. I park on a turnout. I step out. The air is cool. I look at my reflection in the windshield. Pale, hollow. I open the glove box. Inside, the tape recorder, the ring, the doll. Emily's note. I rummage. I find a folded map. 3 counties circled. Barnhart, Jayton, Dickens. Each a site, each a clue. I spread the map on the hood. I study it. The dots form a triangle. The fuel stop is at the base. The barn in Vernon County is at the left. The railroad crossing at the right. I mark a line connecting them. A path, a pattern. I trace it with my finger. I fold the map. I decide I'll hit each point again, I'll wait for the same hour, I'll catch whoever does this. I shut the hood, I slide into the driver's seat. I set the route to Barnhart. I flick on the radio. Code 3, I mutter, more to myself than to dispatch. I want the urgency, I want the lights. I flip on the siren. It wails once, hesitant. Then I'm gone. I arrive at the Barnhart Fairgrounds just as the sun crests the horizon. Empty stalls lean on rusted poles. The Ferris wheel's metal spokes reach toward the sky like skeletal arms. The ground is littered with popcorn and confetti from last year's county fair. I park behind the sheriff's cruiser. 2 deputies stand by their car, coffee cups warm in their hands. I step out, siren off. I approach them. One nods. "Morning, deputy." I show him the bootlace. "Found this at Alvarado's fuel stop. You see anything?" He shakes his head. "Number, we combed this place yesterday, nothing." He glances at the Ferris wheel. "Gaslight comes back tomorrow night. You going back for another sweep?" I nod. "I want to check the sheds." He offers his flashlight. I take it. We walk together. The fairgrounds are quiet. The only sound is the wind through the chain-link fence. We split up. I head to the storage sheds. I push the door. It creaks. Inside, carnival props, tattered banners, old benches. Then I see red stains on the floor. Fresh. Not from old cotton candy. From something darker. I kneel. I press my gloved finger into the stain, thick. I bag a sample. I stand. I search the rest. Nothing. I step outside, shaken. My partner's is at the Ferris wheel base. He shakes his head. "Nothing here, but I did find tire tracks near the north exit. Looks like a white truck." My pulse quickens. Same as the report. He nods. "Sheriff wants us to hold." HQ says additional units on the way. I raise an eyebrow. "More to comb?" He shrugs. "You tell me." We drive back to the station in silence. I go inside and pull Emily's file again. Side by side with Lila's. I compare the timelines. Same weekdays, same hours. Between midnight and dawn. Always on a Saturday morning. I mark the next Saturday on my calendar, and 2 days away. I stare at it. I lean in close. I whisper, "I'll be ready." That night, I return to Barnes Field in Archer City. It's the only place lit by floodlights at 0230. Empty. Silhouettes of old barns loom, Birinci Park. I sit, I wait, 2:45. My watch ticks over. I step out, I lock the doors. I head for the barn, I slip inside. The beam from my flashlight is the only light. Cobwebs cling to rafters. Dust dances. I move to the back. I find footprints again. Child's bare prints. Next to heavy boot prints. I follow them. They lead to a corner stall. The straw's disturbed. I brush it aside. There's a small red scarf. Lake pattern. I bag it. I step back. My heart slams. Then I hear it. A soft humming. A lullaby. It's coming from the loft. I climb the ladder. Wood groans. I shine the light at the top. A small door. It's closed. I place my hand on the latch. I hesitate. I think of the girls, of their voices in the static, of Emily's note, of Lila's blood. I open the trap door. My flashlight spills into the loft. Dust motes float. At first, empty. Then I see her. A girl, bound and gagged, slumped against the wall. Eyes wide, pale, no more than 15. I rush to her. I free her. She falls into my arms. She sobs. I press my jacket against her mouth. She whispers, "Thank you." I lift her. She's light. I carry her down. I see no one else. No sign of the captor. No footprints leading away. Just the window, open to the wind. I run to my car. I load her in the back. I speed off. With siren on, I call dispatch. "Deputy 37 to dispatch. I've got a victim. She's alive but in shock. She was held in the loft of the old barn at Barnes Field. They respond. Copy that. Units en route. Medics have ETA 2 minutes. I breathe hard. I glance back at her. She's crying softly. I hold the wheel steady. The dawn sky is brightening. I drive faster. At the hospital, I hand her to the nurses. She clings to me. I rub her back. She whispers, "They won't let me leave." I close my eyes. I grip the gurney rail. I hear that laugh again, that whisper. I step outside. I turn to look back at the barn in the distance. The morning sun glints off the metal roof. I pull out my phone. I scroll through the cases. I file a report. I note the time. I note the evidence. I note the pattern. I take a breath. I feel the weight in my pocket. I reach in and touch the gold ring. Emily's ring. I slip it out and hold it up. It catches the light. I pocket it again. I stand in the hospital parking lot, dawn all around me, and I whisper, "I know where you are." I get back in the patrol car. I set the radio to dispatch. I key the mic. Dispatch, Deputy 37, victim secure. Requesting a full perimeter sweep of Barnes Field and all surrounding properties. Code 3. Copy that, 37, sending units. I lean back. The seat is too soft. I close my eyes for a moment. I think of Lila and Emily and the girl I just saved. I think of dozens more. I start the engine. I flip on the lights. I drive toward Barnes Field into the sunrise. My badge feels heavy. My heart feels heavier. But I'm closer now and I won't leave. Because they never let her leave. And I never will. The hunt goes on. And dawn brings no peace. Only more roads to drive. Only more nights to face. Only one promise. I will not stop. Not until they can't stop me. I'm live. 43 minutes past midnight. I'm hunched in my patrol truck, engine off, dashboard lights dim. The world beyond this windshield is quiet. Too quiet. I flick the radio. Dispatch, Lamb 32. You copy? Static answers me. I tap my mic. Lamb 32, code 6 on last location. Silence. I rest my fingers on the wheel. It's cold. My gloves are thick, but not thick enough. The wind presses against the door seams. I can hear it whisper through cracked window seals. My eyes scan the horizon. Open sky. Pinholes of stars, no clouds. The moon is a sliver. It doesn't offer light, only a promise of emptiness. I slide out of the truck. Gravel shifts under my boots. 1, 2, 3. My steps follow the faint curve of County Road 110. The road is cracked. Thin tire tracks vanish into the dark. No headlights ever came this way. Or, if they did, they left and never returned. I check my watch, 12:02 a.m. Time feels meaningless. Every minute stretches, my pulse picks up. I remind myself to breathe. Breathe in, breathe out, steady. I reach the old petrol pump, rusted metal frame, paint peeled. A faded sign reads Pecos Fuel. The glass panel is intact, but inside, shelves are empty. No snacks, no soda, no hope. I raise my flashlight. Beam cuts through the black. Dust motes dance. A single drop of liquid glints on the concrete. I step closer. My glove brushes it. Sticky. Dark red, or oil. I shine my light lower. It's crude oil. Fresh. Warm. It oozes from a crack near the pump base. Something must have ruptured underground. I circle the pump. My radio scratches. Anyone copy? I hesitate. The voice is fuzzy, distant. Maybe it's my own imagination. I press talk. Lamb 32 to dispatch. I have a situation at Pecos Fuel. Possible spill. No civilian in sight. Request code 6. Over. No reply. I drop into a crouch and peer under the pump. Oil seeps into the earth. Every drop lands with a hiss. The sound feels loud in the emptiness. I can taste it on my tongue. I stand. Hand goes to my belt. I rest my palm on my pistol grip. Nothing to see yet, no threats. But that's always the trap. I slide a glance to the horizon. Silence. Shadows gather like silent spectators. Then I hear it. A creak, high, thin, like a rusty hinge turning. I freeze, heart slams. My breathing sticks in my throat. It's coming from the gas station building. The board and batten siding, the front door. Hinges long gone, yet it moves. I clear my throat. "Hello, police. Show yourself." My voice cracks. Silence. Another creak. Louder this time. The door edge shifts. A rotted plank groans. It leans. I lift my flashlight and my gun in one motion. I inch forward. Each footfall crunches gravel. My pulse pounds. My skin itches under my jacket. I reach the door frame. I push. The door swings inward. Nothing. I step inside. Floorboards sag. Dust coats every surface. My light flicks over the counter. Broken glass. A red stain on the floor. I crouch. It's more oil. I taste my panic rising. I check the back room. Shelving collapsed. Cans of oil toppled. A hose lies coiled. One end trails beneath a hole in the wall. The other drips into a puddle. But there's no barrel, no clear source, only the dripping. I follow the hose. It leads to a small gap behind a false panel. The panel is warped. Scrape marks along its edge. I press my hand against the warped wood. Cold. I pull. It yields. I shine my light inside. A narrow crawl space. 13 inches tall. Just enough room for a crawling man. And inside, out of focus, 3 pinpricks of reflection. Eyes watching. I step back. My foot catches a loose floorboard. A hollow crack echoes. My heart fears it bounced off concrete and came straight back at me. I press my back to the wall, shoulder at the door. The crawl space yawns. I debate, move forward or run. My radio snaps to life. Lamb 32, come in, over. Dispatch, finally, my palms sweat. Dispatch, Lamb 32, I have a possible trespass situation. Request backup, over. They answer, copy, backup en route. ETA 5 mics, secure the scene. I exhale, relief flares, brief. But then I recall, no other units responded to any calls tonight. They might never arrive. I stare at the crawl space. Eyes blink back. I tilt my head, the shadows slide. I pitch forward, knees hitting concrete. I shine my light inside. I see faces. 3 faces pressed together. Skin pale, eyes wide. They wear ragged clothes. Strange patterns painted on their cheeks. Symbols I don't recognize. I step back. Vomit threatens. I ground my feet. I lift my radio. Dispatch, I need an ER unit. Possible hypothermia. Also, a hazmat team. Faction unknown. Over. They respond. Copy, Lamb 32. Units dispatched. Static. I turn back. They're gone. The crawl space is empty. The panel is closed. Immaculate. No trace. My flashlight dances over the wall. No marks, no hints. I let out a breath I didn't know I held. My mind races. Was it real? A hallucination? A trick of the light and my exhaustion? My pistol feels heavy at my side. Barrel cold. I whip my head toward the pump. The hiss of oil is louder. Steady, steady, like a heartbeat. I know my own heartbeat is deafening. I step outside. The night air smacks me. I holster my weapon. I check the gravel path, my radio. Lamb 32, backup is here. 1 unit, over. A spotlight cleaves through the dark. Slim beams propagate across the broken asphalt. I signal. Relief flickers. I wave them toward me. As they pull up, I glance back at the station. My gaze lingers on the dark building. It waits, it watches, and it beckons. I hold my breath. I want to walk away, shut the door, pretend none of this happened. But I can't. I turn back to the incoming unit. Get me a team to check inside, I say. and canvass the area for footprints. They nod. I watch as two figures exit the vehicle. Flashlights on. They sweep toward the pump. I stay on the patrol truck. I watch my dashboard clock, 12:17 a.m. 15 minutes of horror feel like 15 hours. The wind rattles the cab. My reflection stares back. I barely recognize the hollow eyes. I lean forward. I press record on my phone. I need this, my report, my confession. Proof that I was here, that I saw this. I sit in silence, let the cold settle in my bones. And I wait. I'm still here. It's 12:19 a.m. 2 minutes since the other unit arrived. I can hear their voices now. Low, urgent murmurs moving through the station. They're checking the pump, radioing back that the oil spill is worse than I said, that it runs like blood through the cracked asphalt. I slide out of the truck again. Boots crunch. My flashlight in one hand, my pistol in the other. I move toward the building. The two officers have split up, one at the pump, one at the front door. Their beams crisscross the dark. I see their breaths fog the air. As I step onto the concrete pad, something shifts behind me, a dart of motion. I spin, empty road, but I catch a flash, a farmhouse window light far off. It flickers once, then goes dark. The farm sits 3 miles that way. Nobody lives there, abandoned years ago after the well ran dry. Except maybe tonight. I turn back to the officers. They've found footprints. Bare footprints in the oil leading toward the station. Size 9, adult. They curve around the side door. My skin chills. Nobody came this way, yet here are prints. I crouch. Trace the prints with my flashlight. They're smeared with oil. Each step leaves a thick imprint. The prints end at the door's threshold. And then, nothing. The floor inside is clean. No oil, no prints. Like the feet vanished into the wall. I stand. A low hum vibrates through the concrete. I look around. Somewhere, underground, a pump must be running. But there's no generator, no hoses except the one through the crawl space. The hum pulses in time with my heartbeat. I place a hand on the pistol grip, then I close my eyes. I need to steady my breathing. In, out, in, out. The hum fades behind my focus. I open my eyes. The front door stands closed, as if no one opened it. I nod at the sergeant who arrived with the second unit. He's a young deputy, fresh out of the academy, eyes wide. He watches me, waiting for orders. I point to the crawlspace hole. He nods, he kneels, flips up the panel. Flashlight beam slashes the darkness inside. He calls into the void, "Guys, I'm coming in." His voice echoes. He gathers himself and inches forward. I hold my breath. The oil hiss swells. The hum throbs. The deputy's flashlight sweeps. Floor, walls, ceiling. Then to the back corner. He straightens. "I don't see anything," he says. I step forward. "Let me." I duck into the crawl space. Body scrapes the wood. Oil stains my jacket. The hum is louder now, like machinery breathing. I shine the light through the tunnel. It ends in a small chamber. The beam lands on 3 figures pressed against the wall, just shadows. But I know what was here before. I back out. Head spins, my throat closes. I mop sweat with my hand. The deputy helps me. He asks, "You okay, sir?" I nod. I can't speak. The radio crackles. Lam 32, dispatch. ETA hazmat and 12 mics. Over. Good. Enough time to get a look inside, but not enough to calm my nerves. I clear my throat. "Get those prints processed. Seal off the building. I want perimeter security. No one in or out until the team arrives." "On it, sir." I step aside as they lock the doors. I lean against the truck, stare at the station. It feels alive, breathing, waiting. I close my eyes. I see the faces again, pale, desperate, painted. I see my own reflection in their eyes, drained. I rubbed my temples. My radio lights up. Sergeant Mills to Lamb 32. I tap the mic. Go ahead. We found a camcorder in the back room. Looks like someone was recording inside. My blood runs cold. Secure it. Don't touch anything else. Copy that. I jog to the back entrance. It's warped, oil slick on the step. I step over, careful not to slip. Inside, I follow footprints to a collapsed shelf. Underneath, a battered camcorder sits in a pool of oil, buttons sticky, lens cracked. I lift it with a glove. The viewfinder flickers. Images flashing. Oil pumps, darkened rooms, a man pointing the camcorder at his own face, eyes wild, shouting, "They're here! They're here!" Then static. Then 3 faces pressed against a wall. Then darkness. I drop the camcorder, step back. My pistol comes up. I sweep the room. Nothing moves. The only sound, my own ragged breathing. The quiet drip of oil. I scoop up the camcorder again. We need this in evidence and check for recordings, everything. The deputy beside me slips a hand on my shoulder. You want a break, boss? I glance at the clock. 12:34 a.m. Over 30 minutes since I arrived. I shake my head. Not yet. I need to see this through. I retrace my steps to the front. The sergeant meets me. Dispatch wants a status report. I nod. Tell them we have a potential I pause. Something grazes my ear. A soft whisper, like the rustle of fabric. I spin, empty. The deputy follows my gaze. Did you hear that? I ask. He swallows. I thought, maybe just wind. Yeah, I rub my ear, wind. I walk back inside. The station is silent. Chairs turned over. Oil tracks lead from the pump hole to the back room. I kneel and trace a line of prints. They head straight for the crawl space, then stop at the panel. Just like outside, then nothing. I stand. The sergeant speaks again on the radio. Hazmat is delayed, 50 mics out. I close my eyes, 50 mics. Fields stretch for miles, help is hours away. I inventory my ammo. 6 in the mag, 1 in the chamber, 6 more in my vest. I tap my mag pouch. Stay alert. They nod, but I know they're thinking what I'm thinking. This place wants us. It invited us. I step outside. The truck's engine hums, echo of the underground pump. I get in and shut the door. I tap the radio. Lamb 32, I'm moving to position. I switch to the PA mic. Everyone back up 10 yards. In the darkness, the officers shuffle. The pump hiss grows. My reflection in the windshield stares back, pale, hollow. I twist the key. The engine roars. Headlights cut arcs through night. I edge the truck forward, aiming so the lights hit the front door through the windows. The building glows in harsh beams. Oil stains gleam. The hiss thunders in my ears. I kill the engine. Silence. The pump stops, almost. A final sputter, then quiet. I leave the engine off. I reach for my phone. I dial dispatch. This is Lamb 32, I whisper. They pick up. Go ahead. I need that hazmat to divert to Wilbarger County, too, and a containment crew, and tell them to bring extraction units. They answer. Copy. All units diverted. ETA extended. I close the phone. My chest aches. I lower myself on the hood. Flashlight in hand, I shine it on the pump. Oil drips slow now. Outside, the wind sighs through the rigging of a distant windmill. It moans, a lonely lament. I lift the camera from my belt, hit play. The screen flickers. Faces in the wall again, their eyes on me. As the clip loops, the hiss of oil sinks with their mouths. An impossible whisper. Help us. Help us. My jaw clenches. I drop the camera. It shatters on the hood. I draw my weapon and fire twice into the air. The night echoes. The wind stops. Seconds pass, no response. I lower the gun. The desert heat of my panic cools into resolve. I stand, I holster, I brush off my jacket. I step into the darkness, flashlight off. I let my eyes adjust. The station sits silent, oil slicked, watching. The two officers flank me, weapons drawn but tense. I look to the horizon. No lights, no movement, just silence. "Let's move in," I say. We cross the threshold together. The door creaks behind us and closes, softly, of its own accord. Inside, the beam of my flashlight sweeps the lobby. Beyond it, shadows coil. The air smells of stale coffee and crude oil. I swallow. I speak into my recorder again. This is where it gets real. I step further into the darkness. And then, a floorboard snaps behind me. I spin. Nothing but black. I inhale, and I keep walking. I step forward. Each footfall echoes, swallowed by thick shadows. The two officers flank me, faces pale in the flashlight glow. We fan out, light arcs painting the walls. The lobby is littered. Upturned chairs, scattered oil cans, broken floor tiles. Footprints smear through the puddles, leading deeper into the station. I follow the tracks into the back hallway. The air grows colder. My breath fogs. A low hum throbs underfoot. Distant, mechanical. Memory claws at me. The hum under Pecos fuel, then here. It binds these places together like some hidden artery. We reach the first side room. A peeling sign reads, "Restroom." Door hangs ajar. I push it wider. Oil streams from the threshold, pooling around a cracked porcelain sink. The mirror is shattered. Fragments litter the floor. Among them, something dark moves. Too fast for the eye, like a skitter in the reflections. I jolt back. The deputy beside me draws his gun. "Clear," I whisper, voice tight. But I'm not sure. We press on. The corridor ends at double doors marked storage. No windows. I crack them open. Shelves line the walls, half empty. Boxes soaked through. Rat droppings dot the corners. I sweep my light over the floor and spot footprints leading into a service hatch in the ceiling. Hoisting myself up, I see two metal rungs leading into darkness. I tap the sergeant's shoulder. He nods. We switch radios to handheld. "Lamb 32 to all units. Possible access hatch to sublevel. I'm going up." Static. Officer Martinez pushes aside a box and climbs. I follow. The hatch is narrow, musty, cramped. My flashlight beam reveals metal grating, ladder rungs dusted with oil and grime. I climb first. The ladder rattles. My glove slips on an oil smear. Heart lurch. I steady my weight and keep climbing until I break through into a dimly lit concrete crawlspace. The smell hits me. Oil, mold, stale sweat. Pipes run overhead. A single bare bulb flickers far down the tunnel. Martinez backs out. He crouches behind me, gun trained forward. "We're heading east-west," I whisper. Light ahead. Our beams weld the darkness. Each step splashes through oil mixed with water. My boots feel heavy. The hum is louder here, like 1,000 drowned whispers. It vibrates the concrete walls. I place a hand on the pipe. It pulses with that hum. We reach the bulb. It sputters and dies. Pitch dark. I click my light on. A long corridor stretches ahead. Every foot of floor is slick. Footprints, my own, Martinez's, and dozens of others. They head toward a low vaulted archway at the far end. I check my watch. 12:58 a.m. 6 minutes since we entered. Time is a tether snapping in the dark. We edge forward. Martinez's flashlight skitters over the walls. Etched names and symbols carved into the concrete, half hidden by oil stains. The patterns match those on the faces we saw in the crawlspace. I swallow. My throat is raw. A single word stands out. "Here," carved in hasty letters. Below it, an arrow pointing ahead. I tap Martinez's arm. He nods. We round the arch. stepping into a large chamber. My light picks out 3 figures kneeling in the center, backs to us. Their shoulders tremble, hoods drape over their heads, oil drips from their sleeves, pooling beneath them. They chant in low monotone, words I can't understand. I raise my gun. Police! Hands where I can see them! They freeze. The chanting stops. Silence crashes. They turn. No faces. Blank masks of molded oil, cracked. They stand as one and raise fists toward us. The hum crescendos, rattling the chamber. Martinez fires once. The echo shrieks. The nearest figure staggers, then resumes advancing without hesitation. I fire again. The bullet thuds into the mask, cracking it. Dark ooze seeps through the fissure. The figure tilts its head. No pain, only hollow tilt. My radio crackles. Lamb 32, hazmat en route, over. I bark reply, hold position. No reaction until they neutralize contamination, over. The figures close in. I back toward the hatch. Martinez follows. My flashlight beam bobs. I trip over a boot, my own. I stumble. Heart hammers. I feel breath on my neck. Fingers, cold, oily, graze my jacket. I spin, gun raised. A 4th figure stands behind me, mask gleaming. It reaches out. I fire. Impact. The oily mask fractures. A dark silhouette stands behind the mask. No eyes. A void. I scramble up the ladder. Martinez behind me. We crash through the hatch. Martinez slams it closed. We hold our breath as oil drips from the ceiling onto the hatch top. I draw my radio. Mayday, Section 3 compromised. All units evacuate sublevel immediately. Over. Silence. We tumble into the storage room. I jam a chair under the hatch. My hands shake so hard my radio slips. I catch it and press talk. Dispatch. Lamb 32. I repeat, evacuate sublevel. Possible hostile subjects. Over. Static. I lace my fingers behind my head. Oil stains my uniform. Sweat and grime slick my hair. I rake a hand through it. My eyes burn. Outside, the station is dark. No headlights, no deputies. They vanished. I kick open the door and race into the lobby. My light catches rows of empty shelves. I sprint to the front door. It's locked, twice. I blast it open with my shoulder and spill into the night. The sky is still empty. The pump stands silent. No oil, hiss, no hum, no footprints in the gravel. I race to my truck. It starts on the first turn. Headlights carve through darkness. I spin off down the road, toward County Road 110 Junction. I hit the brakes, flashing lights ahead, my backup. Sheriffs from Wilbarger County, lights blue and red. Their vehicles block the road. I step out, hands open. Sergeant Beck, Wilbarger County Sheriff, a voice calls. I nod. Lamb 32, I need to get back in. He shakes his head. We locked it down. Hazmat arrived. Suspects in custody, 3 found in cave under station. No cams, no hatches, site contaminated. You're safe here. My pulse slows. I rub my arms. Cave? He nods. Miles of chambers under that station. We found rooms lined with oil, chanting equipment, makeshift living quarters, 3 men, masks intact. He glances at me. You all right? I swallow. I think so. He motions me over. We'll debrief at the station. EMT here to check you out. I nod, eyes fixed on the dark station far back. It sits empty, like a shell. The wind chimes rattle above us, distant. I step toward him. The radio in my pocket buzzes. Silent channel. I pull it out. Record light still blinking from before. I press play. Hissing oil, chanting voices, the impact of gunshots, then nothing. A final whisper. It never ends. I close the radio, slide it into my pocket. I look up at the station one last time. Empty. Silent. Yet alive. Then I turn and walk away. It's 1:17 a.m. I'm behind the wheel again, engine idling low. Knees against the steering column. The cold metal of the wheel seeps through my gloves. Sweat beads at my hairline. My recorder sits in the cup holder, still blinking. I press record. I'm safe for now. They told me to rest at the Wilbarger County perimeter. EMT checked me out, says I'm physically fine. Psych is another story. I laughed. Told her I've seen bigger things in a single patrol than most officers see in a career. She scrawled something on a form and handed it off. I pocketed the pen. Dispatch just cracked on the radio. Lamb 32, suspect secured. Hazmat confirms a crude oil contamination and chemical irritant. All clear in 10 mics. I keyed my mic. Copy, standing by. I lowered it, listening as the static swallowed his voice. Then I paused and whispered into the mic. Are they really secured? The blade of the moon has slipped behind clouds, turning the station ruins into a silhouette that flares headlights in my side mirror. I can imagine their breaths pooling on the hood as they stand there, staring, trying to process what we uncovered. I slide out of the truck. The asphalt crunches underfoot. My boots sink slightly into oil-soaked gravel. I jog forward, shoulders high, hands near my belt. Every nerve in my body screams caution. I duck under the yellow tape. My name loops along it. Wilbarger County Sheriff's Department. Over and over, a flimsy barrier against the unknown. I shine my light on the station. Windows boarded, doors locked and chained. But every board is scored, long gashes gouged from inside. The steel chain sags as if it's been stressed from the other side. I tap on the metal with my flashlight handle. A dull echo. Beneath that, I swear, a thump, a muffled heartbeat. I step closer, hand hovering over my holster. The wind picks up, rattling the chain. The station shifts like a creature stretching in its lair. I clear my throat. Sergeant Beck? I call. He's there, stout, square jaw, badges reflecting. Beside him, 2 deputies stand with rifles at rest. They don't smile. Nobody smiles at this hour. What's your status? He asks. His voice low, controlled. Stable, I say, but I need to see the footage from that camcorder. He shakes his head. Evidence tech extracted it. It's en route to the lab. You've been away too long. You need to sit down. I grit my teeth. I sit in a bunker and wait for gloved technicians, or I'm out here making sure nothing else crawls out at us. He studies me, then nods. 20 minutes. You hold here and stay alert. I nod. My mind clicks into hypervigilance. 20 minutes. Just enough time to walk laps around the station's perimeter 12 times, absorbing every sound, every flicker of shadow. I start pacing, clockwise, past the pumps, now drained and drained of meaning, past the wine-colored stain that never fully cleans. I pass under the wind chimes. They sigh. Each gust tugs at the metal like claws. I round the corner and come to the side door. A deputy has graffitied "Do Not Enter" in plastic letters. Beneath it, smeared, "There Lies." I kneel, reach out to peel a letter. The paint flakes on my glove. I sniff. Sharp chemical tang, acrid, not oil, something else. I stand. The chime above me clangs. I jump. But it's only wind, only the station's breath. Then I hear it. Laughter. Low, chuckling. I freeze. It comes from inside, through the boards. Listen, I say into the dark. Laugh. My radio crackles. I lower the volume. The chuckle turns into gurgling, like drowning. I capture it on my recorder. I press play immediately, static, then whispers, "You can't leave. You belong." I slam stop. A bead of something drips onto my helmet. I glance up. No sky. Nothing, just shingles. Then a dark brown drop on my cheek. I wipe it away. Oil or blood? Doesn't matter. I taste bile rising. I backpedal to the front. My flashlight rakes the building. Shutters quake. I catch a black shape dart across a broken window. My stomach coils. I twist to run and collide with Sergeant Beck. He grabs my arm. "What the hell?" I point. His light sweeps. Nothing. He frowns. "What did you see?" "Movement. Light. Something's inside." He nods, pulling a radio. "Beck to Lamb 32. Station interior. Suspected movement." Over. A tense pause. "Beck, that area's sealed." He grinds his teeth. "Acknowledged." He drops the mic. "Stay back." He steps forward. I follow at a distance. He touches the chain and yanks. The doors shudder. He kicks the base. Open. Nothing. He signals to Officer Ruiz. She steps to the ladder and walks along the boards, checking. Between boards with a pry bar. She finds a gap and pries. The board shifts. Another loud crack, like bones. The rest of the boards thud to the ground. We stare inside. What remains of the lobby wall is blackened. Floor littered with debris. Oil drips from the ceiling. A single chair sits upright in the middle, stained dark, like someone left it there for us. I step forward. The air grows thick. My breathing rattles. We sweep inside, weapons up. Ruined display cases, toppled fixtures. I wince at the smell, a mixture of petroleum, decay, and fear. I shine my light on a splatter on the floor, a muddled shape. Footprint? Handprint? Hard to tell. I crouch. It's skin, human, careless smear. I gag, back away. Beck shines his light into the back corridor, where we entered earlier. It extends into deeper darkness. The hum hums, low and insistent. It vibrates bone. I look at my phone, 1:25 a.m. 5 minutes until the tech arrives. Or so they said. A scraping, metal on concrete. My hair stands on end. We move toward the sound. It comes from the nether end of the corridor, near the hatch. I slow. Beck motions. We approach the service door. It's ajar, wider than we left it. The hatch above is open. Ladder rungs slick with oil. Beck nods to Ruiz. "You cover us." We move in. She ducks to the side with gun raised. Beck and I step under the hatch. The oil sheen on the floor grows thicker. I can feel it sucking at my boots. We reach the room. No chanting figures this time. Only a swirl of oil on the floor, like a black pool stirring. The hum is deafening. The walls pulse. Tendrils of smoke, thick, black, rise from the oil. They coil upward, like the fingers reaching for the ceiling. I cough, my eyes water. Beck coughs too. He waves his hand. Gas masks. Ruiz tosses them down. We strap them on. Our voices come out muffled. We flick on our lights. The smoke parts. I see shapes in the walls. Faces emerging, fading. Some smiling, some screaming. They beckon. Beck taps my shoulder. We press on. We follow the corridor deeper. The walls are carved with symbols, grids, circles, runes. Oil drips from every joint. The hum follows us, unbearable. Every step makes the oil ripple. I check the ladder, I climb, and Beck follows. We burst into the storage room with a gasp, down over 20 feet. Ceiling lights flickering. Oil pooled in corners. Ruiz stands over the hatch, flashlight on, eyes wide. Beck points to a table. On it, the camcorder from before, and a second device. A tablet, cracked, screen dark. I lift the camcorder. It still blinks. I hold it like a weapon. Beck says, "Let's get out." I exhale, relieved. We back toward the exit, but the door slams shut behind us, too fast. Air whooshes out. The oil roar crescendos. The lights flicker and die. We're plunged into darkness. The weight of silence feels impossible. I draw my weapon, no beam. I tap the mag light against the wall. Paper-thin screams echo around. Then silence. The hatches slam one by one. First the service hatch behind me, then the boards outside. The station is sealed. I breathe through the mask. My words come fractured. Dispatch, Lamb 32, emergency, entrapment, over. No reply. I bump into Beck. He's pale. He taps his mic. Beck here. Do you copy? Fear welled behind my eyes. Beck, they're here. His radio drops. He glances at me. Eyes wide. A rumble in the wall. Then a voice. Single, soft, from the dark. Welcome back. A flicker. A shape flits by. Dead lights clicking on and off. I open my mouth, start to shout, but the mask cuts off my scream. We're alone, trapped. The station is alive all around us, watching, laughing. And below us, the chamber we fled must be filled with those figures, masked, chanting, invited into our patrol. I press record one last time as the wall hums closer. They said, help is coming. They lied. The oil drips, the hum surges, and I wait for what happens next. It's 1:46 a.m. The air in here tastes thick, like burnt rubber mixed with oil. I press record. I can't tell which pulse is mine anymore, the hum in these walls or my own heartbeat. Behind me, the station groans, as if shifting on a living spine. I'm pinned against the lobby wall, flashlight tucked under my arm, pistol in hand, mask fogging with each breath. Sergeant Beck kneels beside me, his eyes red but resolute. Officer Ruiz stands guard at the entrance, every muscle taut. We traded whispered status updates moments ago. 3 suspects detained in the sublevel chamber. Hazmat confirms contaminant is highly irritant crude blend. No other entries found, but last unit did report new footprints leading toward the hatch only minutes ago. Now, nothing moves. Silence swallows the station. I rise on unsteady legs. My boots scrape oil-soaked tile. The exit doors are chained, boards pried off, but they lock themselves again with a click like a jaw snapping shut. No wind, no drafts, just that final click, a verdict. I sweep my light toward the reception desk. The pieces of that charred chair remain, scattered splinters, glinting like warning shards. A dark smear on the desk. Dry blood or old oil, it's impossible to tell. Beyond, the hallway yawns, swallowed by shadows. I step forward, each footfall a question. The hum intensifies. I follow it, moving past the pump stain that still glistens in the corner. My glove skims the surface. It ripples under my touch, alive. I pause before the back corridor. We forced open that service door earlier. Now it stands ajar again. No one touched it. The oil drips from the ceiling above it. I step in. Beck follows. The corridor walls glow with our flashlights, etched symbols overlapping one another, layer upon layer, as if generations of madness carved themselves here. We reach the hatch. It lies open now, a gaping black wound. I know what's below, and still I squeeze through. Martinez wanted a break. I shook my head. Number, not until I'm sure we can all leave. Down the ladder I go, ribs scraping the rungs. Below, the chamber stretches wider than I remember. The single bulb has been replaced. Now, dozens, low-watt, flicker in rhythm with the hum. Beneath each bulb stands a figure in an oil mask, motionless, hands folded at their sides. They form a crude sanctuary, an oil altar church. We step in. Hands up, I shout. They don't move. Their masks reflect the yellow light. In their stillness lies menace. Martinez and Beck clutch their weapons. Faint chanting ripples through the air, soft at first, then growing. You came. You belong. We belong. The words aren't human. They resonate in my bones. The floor is slick. My flashlight beam bobs. I bend and scoop a handful of the oily sludge. It's hot, warm on my glove. It breathes like living flesh. Beck fires into the mass. Bullets splatter oil like raindrops. The figures don't flinch. The chanting stops. The hum swells. A single voice, deeper than the rest, booms, "We are the heart beneath." We rise. The ceiling shakes. A crack runs along the concrete arch. Dust falls. Oil drips faster. The distant hiss of oil becomes a roar. "We move," I hiss, gripping Beck's arm. We climb toward the hatch. Bullets ping from behind. Ricochet. Martinez has joined us. We scramble upward, the figures' thin silhouettes reaching after us with dripping arms. Up the ladder we rush. Outside, the station's neon sign sputters on. "Fuel and goods." Letters flicker. "Few D good." The chain hangs loose. We pile out as the hatch slams shut behind us. We back away in unison. The ground trembles. A deep rumble roils the station. The hum turns to a keening wail. Oil fountains burst from the pump base, spraying skyward in a black geyser. I stare. My breath catches. Beck grabs me. "Get back!" he shouts, dragging me behind a patrol car. We dive for cover. The geyser's roar masks our screams. The asphalt cracks. The station trembles, then collapses inward. Boards, metal, shattered glass, sinking into a bleeding crater. I press record one last time as I crawl out from under the patrol car. Sirens wail in the distance. Lights smear across the Texas plains like fireflies. The crater gurgles, bubbling oil and water. My ears ring. I raise my voice raw. I thought I belonged to the law, but this place doesn't obey our rules. It feeds on us. It buries us. The ground quakes again. I scramble to my feet. The crater belches, smoke and flames lick the edges of the collapsing structure. Behind me, Beck and Martinez emerge, soaked in oil and fear. We lock eyes. No words. Only the shared knowledge that none of us can ever walk away unscarred. I drop to my knees by the crater rim. I watch the darkness swallow the station's skeleton. The hum fades into distant thunder. I reach for my radio. Fingers trembling, I key the mic. "Dispatch, Lam 32, structure collapse. Hazmat, possible taint of entire quadrant. Send in cleanup, over." My voice cracks. I cover the mic. Silence answers. I close my eyes. Cold oil drips onto my cheek. I extend a hand and let it fall into the muck. It stains my glove. I lift it, gaze through the grime at a single ring. My wedding band, loose, nearly gone. I slip it off. Drop it into the crater. I lean forward, resting both hands on the hood of my truck. Sirens close in. Lights paint the sky. I record a final whisper softer than the wind. "They said we'd be safe out here. They lied. I'm still here. I will be here, waiting for the questions I can't answer." I press stop, and I watch the Texas dawn rise over a black wound in the earth.